Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this session I want to talk about edit poly and editable poly, edit mesh and editable mesh. Before we talked about edit spline and editable spline, that was for splines for 2D shapes, and edit poly and editable poly, edit mesh and editable mesh for 3D object and geometry. So if I create a box and modify just in parameters, I have some option for length, for example, and height or width that I can change, and also I have segment. But for more change, I have to use edit poly or editable poly, edit mesh or editable mesh. So what's the difference? Both are for modeling, but have difference. Editable mesh is older and mainly for simple and lightweight shapes, but editable poly is newer and more flexible and gives better control our vertex, edge, polygon, and elements. So editable poly is usually the better choice. I select editable poly. In editable poly, I have vertex, edge, border, polygon, and elements. So these are vertex, edge. These are edge, border. I will talk about these. Polygon. These are polygon and elements. If I create one more box and select these, attach with this, now this is one element and this is one more. And also you can select from here or keyboard, 1 for vertex, 2 for edge, 3 for border, 4 for polygon, and 5 for elements. If I delete this, for example, look at here, now I have one border here. Okay, now in Vertex, I want to talk about some of these that I think may be useful for modeling. First one is extrude. Look, usually when we say extrude, everyone think about polygons. That's where you grab a face and pull it out nicely. But if you try it in vertex mode, you'll notice something interesting. Each vertex you select start branching out like a teeny spark or a stick ground from the points. It's not the cleanest modeling trick, but it really shows you how the same command act differently in each sub-object level. When I first tried, I was like, wow, so tools aren't locked to just one level. They behave differently depending on where you use them, and that's honestly a cool way to understand editable poly more deeply. Okay, you can select from here or click here and control from here, or select vertex and right click, extrude. Okay, now we want to talk about weld. Weld just means sticking points together. So you've got a few vertices really close together, but you only want one. Just select, hit weld, and if you see not work, you have to check threshold. If you change this, you can see boom, they become a single point. So also same, you can select from here or right click and select weld. And after that we have target weld. Super handy. Grab one vertex and drag it onto another and then merge. Okay, after that I talk about chamfer. Chamfer is just like softening a sharp corner. In vertex mode, if you chamfer a pointy corner, that single vertex gets split into several new ones, creating a rounded, softer edge. And also, if you right click here, select chamfer, work with this, it's super useful when you want your model to look more natural, because in real life nothing is perfectly sharp. So also you can control from here and see. It's nice. Okay. Now let's move on to add. In edit aids, extrude. To be honest, extrude is mostly for polygon, but if you try it on edge, you can see it pulls that edge out and creates new face. Not super common, but good to know it works. Like this. And also you can right click and select from here. After that we want to talk about connect. This one's fun. Select two parallel edges, hit connect, and see, new line between them. And if you select all parallel edges and then connect, it creates multiple parallel cuts, perfect for adding details and controlling shape. Okay, and now chamfer, very handy. When you chamfer an edge, that sharp line turns into a small strip. This is super important for softening corners before applying a smooth modifier. And also if you select, for example, from here, you can control this and make like this. It's really useful. And after that we have bridge. But if I select the 2 edge and bridge, not work. For first, I have to delete this one and this one. It's dependent that I don't have polygon. Select this one and then bridge. And now in the border, I have a cap. If, for example, I select this border and cap, you can see. Okay. These are same. Okay, now talk about polygon. In polygon, also I have same. First one is extrude. This one's a classic. Select a face and extrude. It pulls that face out or pushes it in like a balloon. Super useful. And also turn off this. You can select from here. Or control from here. And also you can add more, and you can control this number with keyboard, for example. Okay, and bevel. Bevel, it's like extrude and inset at the same time. Look, I extrude and then great for adding decorative or some details. And what about inset? Look, think of it like creating a small frame inside the face. Get a smaller face. And then also you can extrude this. Ouch. See? Or also like this. And now also we have detach or attach, that you know. If I select this one and select detach, ask me change the name of this. No, it's okay. It splits a face into a new object. Now this one object. Okay, back to normal. And for this session, if I make copy, ask me copy instance or reference, it's copy, and I need a mirror in X, and now I want use bridge. Select this one, attach this, and now in Polygon I want to use bridge. If I select this polygon and then I select bridge, you can see it's so useful. And after that I have collapse, like with vertices and edges, collapsing multiple polygons, turns them into a single face. It's useful for merging parts of your model. Alright. Now I delete all of these, and now I want to create one more object like this with more segments and convert to a poly. Look at here. If I select edge, I have two options, ring and loop. What's this? If I select this, and edge ring is a line of edge running parallel across the model. When you select one edge and edge ring, you can see all parallel edges get selected. Super useful for adding support loops for smoothing or moving multiple edges at once. And if I select this, an edge loop is a complete loop of connected edges around the model. Look, select one edge and a hit loop, and the whole loop gets selected. Great for adding details or controlling the shape, especially for smooth area. And don't forget that you can use from here vertex, edge, border, and blah blah, and also use keyboard, 1 for vertex, 2 for edge, 3 for border, 4 for polygon, and 5 for elements. And also play with F4 and F3. So, alright friend, that is for today's lesson on editable poly and its main tools. Remember, practice is the key. The more you play around with vertices, edge, polygon, and elements, and the comments like extrude, bevel, chamfer, and weld, the more natural and professional your model will look. If you want to see the next lesson, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss them. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you in the next session, and have a good day.